Hi, I'm Belinda, and here are some of the highlights that we've shared at the Google for Games Developer Summit. Another great use of Google's AI for growth is finding more high-value users for your ad-funded games with advanced bidding strategies like target return on ad spend for in-app purchase or ad revenue. Without any code needed, this bidding strategy helps you find new players most likely to purchase or interact with your in-app ads. And by indicating a target return on ad spend for your app campaign, this bid strategy will help predict the value of the event specified, whether it's a player's in-app action or ad revenue, and automatically optimize your campaigns to maximize your return. And that means that you can focus on acquiring players who perform the event you selected and optimize bids depending on how likely a player is to take action on the event you selected. And I have some great news to share for those developers who have already diversified revenue streams with both in-app purchases and in-app ads. Advertisers will soon be able to optimize their tROAS campaign towards users who are likely to drive value for their app, with revenue generated from both users' in-app purchases and their ad revenue. This feature, tROAS for hybrid monetization on Android, will be in beta in the next few months. So make sure to reach out to your account manager to learn more about this. While new user acquisition is often the first thing to consider after a successful game launch, oftentimes it is not sufficient to rely only on new users, as most players will switch from one game to another. So, to help you re-engage players like those who have recently churned or uninstalled your game, we've made a series of improvements across campaign setup and audiences for app campaigns for engagement, also known as ACE. Let's dive into the campaign setup improvements. While we're making it easier to set up app campaigns for engagement by automating campaign setup based on your re-engagement goals. For example, given the goal of re-engaging lapsed users, automated app campaign for engagement setup can help to suggest audiences, image and video assets, as well as a conversion event for bidding. In addition, deep linking, otherwise known as the destination URL that takes people from an ad to a specific page in-app, will also be automatically suggested. Automated ACE setup is currently in beta and will be generally available in the next few months. For advertisers who prefer to have more control over their ACE setup, we're introducing new suggested audiences from Google Analytics for Firebase in the setup flow. When you implement Google Analytics for Firebase, you'll now get access to suggested audiences such as lapsed players and purchasers, and users who may not have recently engaged with your game's push notifications. These suggested audiences will appear directly within the audience builder in Google Ads, making ACE setup easy. This feature will start to roll out in beta in the next few months. Last, but certainly not least, in this series of updates to help keep your players engaged, we're excited to share that we're expanding your audience reach in App Campaign for Engagement to help you bring back players who might have uninstalled your game. Advertisers who have opted into this audience update in ACE will now see their ads served not only to existing users, but also to any user who might have had the app installed from the Play Store in the past. And this is especially helpful for developers who have a large uninstalled user base, or who might be planning for major live game updates. Reaching uninstalled users will be available in beta soon.
To make it even easier and more efficient for you to manage your mediation setup, we are introducing a revamped buyer management UI and a streamlined ad unit mapping workflow. You can now set up and manage buyers in one centralized location, with these buyers appearing seamlessly in mediation groups and in default reporting. At the same time, you can bulk create ad unit mappings in the same location and then use them across mediation groups. These enhancements deliver substantial time and cost savings for your mediation management operations. The new AdMob bid landscape report provides you with detailed bid level metrics to help you identify which ad sources are more likely to bid for your highest priced inventory and find CPM gaps that can be filled with other ad sources to maximize your revenue. Additionally, the tool allows you to compare the bid landscape between the two arms of a mediation A/B test to determine if a mediation setup is yielding better results. Soon, AdMob's cross-promotion solution will be available in limited access for select publishers. With this campaign update, which includes major improvements across performance and reporting, you can cross-promote your games to players, moving them across your larger family of games and maximizing the return on your user acquisition spend. This will help to increase user retention and overall lifetime value.